This video is sponsored by Phoenix Pharos cards. If you need supplies of singles or splits for Cardfight Vanguard, especially the ones in the video, do check out Phoenix Pharos cards today, and as a bonus, use the promo code MetaNerd to get an amazing 5% discount. And with that being said, let's get on with the video. Greetings YouTube, welcome back to the MetaNerd channel. I am Marcus, bringing you another video for Cardfight Vanguard Willdress. In this video, we will be going through the major support that Dark States actually receive in DBT09. Dark States in this set actually introduces two right line. I mean, Bruce is just himself. The actual right line is Unica. Some specific right lines within Dark States actually do receive support, which some are okay, it's more towards utility, some are not really that significant, but still it is an option nonetheless. Without further ado, let's take a look at the Dark State support that they actually received. First up on the list is Lantern of Kidnapping. Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 3. Choose up to 3 cards with different grades from your drop and put them into your soul. If your soul have 4 or more cards with different grade, draw a card. This is basically a utility order for most probably going to be Drajewald as well as Lukier, because these two cards are the only right line within Dark States that actually rely on what is in the soul rather than the quantity of the soul. Because as we all know, Barrow Magnus, Bruce as well as Greedon as well as maybe Chaos does not really care of what they have in soul. Maybe Chaos do care a little bit, but due to the recent support that Chaos get, it does not really hinder them as much, although it would be really nice if this card was played in Chaos. This basically lets you filter out cards in the soul that you don't need for other different name cards, just so that you are able to achieve the different name in the soul requirement for Chaos skill. This card helps a lot in terms of Drajewald, because we all know Drajewald needs 4 different grades in the soul in order to activate his skill. For Lukier, it does not really do as much, other than, you know, getting like specific attackers or supports that you need to be called out with Lukier's skill into the soul for you to basically call out with Lukier. But then again, from what I see currently, Lukier does not really need this card. It's a nice to have. You don't necessarily have to get this to run inside Lukier deck as of now, but who knows, Lukier players might just need this card in the deck. You're able to recycle most of your key pieces. For example, Rock Argur is the best example here, because once people see Rock Argur in the front row, that Rock Argur is definitely dead. Although it might take quite a bit of hoops jumping, but still, it is a very nice card. And the draw one is just icing on the cake. Very nice order card for Dark States as overall. Next is Team Scara Sargon. Auto Rearguard. When this unit boosts, choose one of the units this unit boosted, and until the end of turn it gets auto Vanguard Circle and Rearguard Circle. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, choose up to 2 cards from your drop and put them into your soul. This is, I would say, like a budget on-hit version of Falcate Performer, because we all know how stupid Falcate Performer is, and this card is basically like sort of a budget version of that. Although it is more value in terms of what cards you can put from the drop to the soul, but it has an on-hit. The plus side is she does not really care what grade is in the soul as opposed to Falcate Performer. So it's a very nice balancing in terms of, you know, rare towards a double R. So, you know, very nice card. It is an excellent support for you to get specific units that you might discard during the right phase to the soul. Plus, it's basically 2 soul resources you can use for whatever skill that you need. And of course, cards that can restand with Sargon boosting behind it, they will still have the on-hit skill. So if you boost the restander with Sargon on the first attack, once it restands, it still has the on-hit skill. Chronojet is having a field day with this card, although as recently seen, not many people is running this card. It's still a very solid choice if you ask me, although Falcate Performer might still be better. Moving on. Next is one of the most disgustingly overpowered card within Dark States, Cleansweep Dragon. Active Rearguard once per turn. If your personal road this turn, cost Counterblast 1, choose a total of up to 3 of you and your opponent's rearguards, and you and your opponent put them into your soul. This unit gets 5k power until the end of turn for each card chosen with this effect, and basically personal right tax. Yeah, once again, this is one of the more stupidly overpowered personal right skill. Every single nation actually has them, but I think this is the more impactful one. Although it's only at 4th turn, it still probably will make a very huge difference. It's basically a bot control control on your 4th turn, 3 rearguards into the soul. And not to mention that this card gains a 15k power if you put 3 cards into the soul. If you keep personal riding for subsequent turn, you are able to keep on using Cleansweep Dragon, provided he does survive subsequent turn that you personal ride. Any deck within the nation is able to abuse this card, and I think this card is one of the main cards that actually counters Eva. Eva's husband, Obscurite, is unable to be retired thanks to the set order. With this card, you are putting those Obscurite into the soul, which is even more devastating for Eva players. So yeah, one of the cards to actually counter Eva. Very nice addition, I would say. But as to what deck really needs this card, it's still up for debate, because due to how generic this card is, you're able to play with whatever deck that can personal ride. So it's very late in activation, but still it's not too bad of a card if you ask me. And of course, since it is personal riding, this is without saying that you should be playing Minerva's Bathwater. It's basically a must to be run at this point if you want to use this disgustingly overpowered dragon skill. Next, for Barrow Magnus, we actually only have one card for Barrow Magnus. Azure Frenzied Flenyadio. Auto Rigor Circle. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have a Vanguard with Barrow Magnus in its card name, put another rearguard into your soul. Choose one of your opponent's rearguard and put it into their soul. If you could not put an opponent's rearguard into their soul, this unit gets 10k until the end of that battle. It's a very nice tag unit for Barrow Magnus to possibly get Flaming Pony into their soul, because we all know how stupid Flaming Pony is inside Barrow Magnus. And comboing this with the doll, the basically +1 to every soul charge count doll, as well as Brainwash, this card might just make OTK Barrow Magnus even more disgusting. But although it's only on attack, but still very disgusting as of now. However, the value of this card inside the Barrow Magnus deck isn't as significant, because once you reach Barrow Magnus, you want to get to 15 soul as soon as possible. With this combo alongside Flaming Pony, it actually only sets up for the next turn, which is not that great. That's something to think about. Although if you can't reach 15 soul, this card actually provides you with board control options. It's not too bad, but at the same time, not that great either. It does not really change a lot for Barrow Magnus, but it does provide Barrow Magnus with some much needed utility. You at least have options for you to play until maybe a new Barrow Magnus actually may introduce inside Cardfight Vanguard. Next is the 2 cards that was for Unica. Ryurakan Manticore. Continuous Rearguard Circle. During your turn, if your bind zone has 2 or more trigger units, this unit's plus 10k power. This is basically a very big attacker for Unica. I mean, at the moment, even without this card, Unica is hitting for like very crazy numbers. So with this being inside Unica's arsenal, it just makes Unica even more disgusting. This card is averaging from a 20k to 30k attacker if, of course, you have 2 or more triggers being bind, which is what Unica has been doing, which also puts a lot more emphasis on the consistency in you soul charging or putting critical triggers into the soul. It's very significant that you do that because due to how reliant on you binding your triggers to the bind zone, it's best that you figure a way to overcome the consistency in getting critical triggers into the soul. This card could go up even more thanks to Unica's skill, because if you soul blast a trigger with Unica's skill, you're able to provide a 5k power for every trigger unit you soul blast. So you can stack another 15k on top of this to make this a 35k to 45k. It is possible, which is very disgusting. But yeah, overall, very nice common card. But at this point in time, I don't think the extra power actually matters for Unica. Unica's big problem at the moment is getting the consistency of critical triggers to the soul. That's the main big thing for Unica. But it's nice to have a big attacker once in a while. Next up is Airam Capriconus. Auto Rigor Circle. When this unit boosts, if you have a Vanguard with Alma Gestar in this card name, choose up to 1 trigger unit from your hand or drop and put it into your soul. If you put a card from your hand, draw a card. So it's, once again, this is basically like another budget version of Falcon Performer. Dark States at this point is basically all about the soul. So having support that basically recycles something from the drop zone to the soul is potentially going to be a must as we move into the future for Dark States. This card helps with Alma Gestar's consistency tremendously. Be it you want to recycle a critical trigger or any triggers from the drop or the hand for you to dig your deck for more pieces, this card is just a beast. Unlike Falcon Performer, where you have to see what is in your soul in order for you to put something back from the drop to soul, you can just put whatever triggers from the drop to soul, which is also why this card is basically restricted to Almagestar. Very, very nice card, and I think it's probably going to be one of the stapler cards, unless of course a much higher rarity of the same skill was introduced. And one thing to note here is that Gungnaram here is especially really good with this card, because at this point in time you're basically soul blasting 3 and get back 3 cards from the drop to the soul, which you can just like spend 3 soul to draw from Gungnaram, and then you can just put back the 3 triggers to the soul by using the grade 1 from the right line, as well as this card. It has the ability to be very, very sustained in terms of the resources that this deck has been getting. So it's a very, very nice combo and a very, very nice synergy to be seen in an actual Unica deck. And that is all for this video. Do let me know down in the comment section of what do you think of the whole Dark States major support. Do like and subscribe if you like this video, and of course ring the bell notification icon so that you don't miss a video I upload. With that being said, I'll see you all on the field.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.